Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ole, and I'm going to talk to you about our experiences in artificial intelligence. We have been working with that for a while because we are working with innovation and digitalization, and we try to improve our services. But I have to have my presentation before I can continue. Thank you. I'll first take the objectives with our use of artificial intelligence. We have, like most archives, large quantities of paper-based archives, but our holdings, as most holdings, have limited metadata and they are quite poor categorized. And it requires quite a lot of manual work to use them. And they are handwritten and typewriter written, so it's time consuming to use them. So we'll try to use artificial intelligence to make it more usable. Artificial intelligence, it has many branches, so I can show you here an overview. And we are not working on all of them, of course, it's quite big. So we are working with machine learning and content extraction, classification, and some image recognition. Important areas for us is to make historical data searchable and to improve user experience, improve metadata, and automate our services, and also improve self-service and actually share our data internally and externally. And the activities we have carried out, I can tell you more about. First, we have some these documents here that are land registered. It gives information about documents with which documents rights to land, and they are quite important for our users. But they had personal ID numbers, and that made it very difficult for us to make them freely available. And it's about 5 million pages, so it's quite a big job to find the personal ID numbers and mask them. So we started to do that, and I have some numbers, I think, somewhere. We found 63,000 numbers that we have masked, and but we didn't know if we had found all. So then we used artificial intelligence to find more of them. We tried. They have, you know, the fixed number of digits, so that it could be done by artificial intelligence. And they found another 32,000 numbers, but they didn't find 65 that should have been covered, and they covered 3 that shouldn't have been. So it's not without error. In another source we have worked with is the National Population Register. These are index cards with a lot of personal information that is useful in many connections, not only, mostly for case handling. And we have some millions, I think 20 millions or something of those. So you can't, it's very time consuming to only retrieve them manually. So we wanted to try to do that more efficiently. So our experts have then tried to identify the names and automate it. And I think that they have succeeded quite well, but these documents cover more than 100 years. So there are lots of different patterns to identify. So we are still working on it to complete the job. The wrong way. Another way is to find metadata in the documents, to use the machine to read for you. That is very interesting. So then you can find who is the sender and what is the date and the topics and title and who was the case handler. And that was done in a pilot where they tried to identify sensitive information, because we have large quantities of archives, and we can't make them freely available because some documents, only some, could have some sensitive information. And we thought that if you could just identify those documents and make and let the rest be openly available, that would be great. But the conclusion were unfortunately that so far our skills in artificial intelligence is not good enough, so we had to give it up. And this is an example of how the documents are pre-processed. You see that it's changing. First, this is the original in green, and then it's they have changed the way the document appears, and then it is lastly it is HDR red, so that you have the text in searchable. And that is quite important to pre-process in order to work with the documents. And this is another, I think I'll just skip that because we don't have so much time. It's very much like the ones I presented. And we're also working with handwritten text recognition, and that is a big area. We have 3 persons working with artificial intelligence and 2 persons working with handwritten text recognition. So I think I must say that is a big area for us. And we are working with Transcribus, and I think our main focus is to find ways to do it, not being using these specialized tools, but more use libraries and develop services more to combine what we find best in for each job. We also like to see further improvements, and we think that if we could find ways to combine it with databases that exist in order to wash the data to make them more standardized, we would benefit a lot from that. And some results. We have made some historical data searchable. We have improved metadata and improved user experiences, and of course improved self-service, which was important for us. And some of the services have been more automated because of artificial intelligence. And the lessons learned, we are still on the way. We are not there yet. There is a long way to go to learn more and to improve our results. There is a great potential to save manual work. We have saved some work. There are much more work to be saved this way of working. And we have something that is in production, has put in production, but not all, because they were not a success yet. But it is important to prepare the material beforehand to make it best suitable for the artificial intelligence work. And it's also important with international and Nordic cooperation, because we can learn from each other. And to use open source is also very valuable, because we can't invent the wheel every time we should do a new job. Thank you.